What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Join Dota League Season 3. This is going to be a best of 3 series, game number 2 between B+5 and Kompas Gaming. Currently the score stands 1-0 in favor of Kompas Gaming, so we'll see if B+5 can bring it back. Here on HeflaTV, I'm going to be one of your casters. I'm Mike Loris, and I am still joined by Grandis V.
Yeah, game number 1 was a little bit topsy-turvy in the beginning portions of the game. Kompas Gaming got pretty much the dream first couple of minutes, at least for them. The Tinker wasn't doing great up against the Death Prophet, but he still had his Ancient stack going. Their Clinks got multiple kills on the enemy Razor, and the Razor did absolutely nothing. Obviously, the Puck didn't do very well up against the Viper, but their roaming combination coming out from B+5 just didn't get off the ground. Then we have a couple of fights where Kompas Gaming, they dive a little too deep. They find themselves in a 5v5 engagement versus B+5, and they're able to come back a little bit, but at the end of the day, it was Kompas Gaming that were able to seize control of the map and just maintain that after a couple of really good engagements, and really sloppy engagements coming out from B+5. Kompas Gaming, their lineup really thrived off of those sloppy, spread-out engages, where they're able to consistently get damage off with their Clinks and Tinker. But enough of that, we're going to get into Game 2, and I definitely think B+5 have a shot, and well, these bans, are going to be a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, as Tinker Brewmaster banned out by Kompas Gaming and Faceless Void Razor by B+5, leaving Lycan first pick available for Kompas Gaming, and I don't see a great reason why they shouldn't snag it up.
Yeah, last game they went with a kind of indirect pushing comp, and the fact that they were going to kind of push all the lanes at the same time and just apply steady pressure everywhere. They could just go into a kind of similar but slightly different vein, picking up the Lycan, and then just, bust up lanes all by themselves. It'll be kind of similar to how Clinks behaves, a little bit less assassin-y and a lot more direct, I'm just going to smash your face in. But either way, Kompas Gaming have already showed that they could play that type of strategy, and a Lycan is going to be one of the best heroes if you actually want to play one of those strategies. So Lycan is an incredibly powerful hero, and I'm actually surprised to see Kompas Gaming ban out the Tinker, since they were the ones to play the Tinker pretty well last game. Kind of surprising, but maybe they just don't like Tinker, or don't like playing against Tinker. They just much rather like to have to not deal with them. Regardless, they're taking their sweet time as this first pick. They could go for the Lycan, or they should go for a Death Prophet and maybe try to pick up a Lycan a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm not sure B+5 would snag the Lycan on the Radiant side, but I think your safest bet is just picking it up. And there you go. Took them a long time to think about it, but they'll end up settling down on this first pick Lycan. I don't think you can really go wrong with this hero, because even though its early laning stage is pretty lackluster, your ability to mow down towers if you're able to win a fight or even trade evenly is just ridiculous. Nature's Prophet picked up by B+5, a pseudo block pick coming out from them is giving away the Nature's Prophet treants with that hull damage is pretty ridiculous, and on his own, a pretty solid hero.
Yeah, and B+5 could even try to outpush the Kompas Gaming side. Lycan does take a little bit to get going, especially if you apply any pressure to him at all early on, then he's really going to struggle to take down your towers later. It'll be a while before he gets his Necro Book, his Power Treads, his BKB, all that good stuff that really makes Lycan powerful. So if B+5 play the very aggressive game and try to get a nice roaming duo that hopefully this time will work out a little bit better, and then having Nature's Prophet teleport in and just try to kill the Lycan as often as you possibly can, it's going to really heavily benefit B+5 to shut down this Lycan and even try to outpush him, and that's something that is possible versus a Lycan, and it's not really oftenly seen, mostly because Lycan isn't seen that much, but if they do want to go for that route, then it's possible, but because they're taking so long on the second pick, I'm inclined to think that they just snap pick the Nature's Prophet, as you said, in order to deny it from Kompas Gaming, and they don't really know where they want to go with this.
Yeah, it's going to be a Tidehunter for them. In lane, it's going to do pretty well up against a Lycanthrope. Depending on what the supports are, he can, put a lot of pressure on the Lycan, even solo, if the supports don't have a lot of killing potential between them, with Anchor Smash, and also just being a really good offlaner. This is going to mess their lanes a little bit. This Nature's Prophet is, now going to have a interesting time finding out where he actually wants to fit in this lineup, whether it's mid, safe lane, or maybe even jungle coming out from B+5. I have no idea. You can definitely put the Nature's Prophet in a lot of different places, but we're used to seeing him in that off-lane role. Kompas Gaming, I think they should just go all in the push. There's not a great reason why they shouldn't. Shadow Shaman would be wonderful, Death Prophet even. Maybe just go for more summons, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Death Prophet is probably the most solid here that they could pick up. It does fit into their pushing lineup, but at the same time, it has some versatility so that you can take the game a little bit later, and late game Lycan is pretty scary as well, so it'll keep them open, and really that's important for the first two picks. And there you go. It is going to be Death Prophet Lycan for the first two on Kompas Gaming, whereas Bennett, yeah, I don't really know where this Nature Prophet is going to go. This Tidehunter might even be put into a support role. I think really Bennett +5 are looking at this, and that Tidehunter is pretty good against Lycan. You will most of the time hit him with the Ravage, and if you hit him with the Anchor Smash, then early on he's probably not going to get any kills, which is already unlikely, but with Anchor Smash in the field, it's going to be even less so. But it's going to make the Bennett +5 lanes a little bit cramped. Nature Prophet, he could just be soloing a lane and then having Tidehunter support, or they could kind of do the opposite, have Nature Prophet in a dual or tri-lane, but no matter how you slice it, these lanes from Bennett are going to be very, very awkward.
Yeah, and awkward lanes are going to be wonderful for Kompas, is if they're able to find just really standard lanes where they can at least trade even with the Death Prophet and Lycan, their mid-game is just going to be so scary to play up into. Obviously, you have the Ravage from Bennett +5, which is going to be difficult to push into, but if that is a support Tidehunter, your level 6 is going to be delayed long enough to where Kompas Gaming can snag some towers before that actually comes up, and just that little bit of extra gold in their pockets is going to give them that next set of items to, I don't know, keep the snowball rolling, and I don't know, this is quite possibly the scariest two heroes to play up against in this patch, especially in competitive games.
Alright, so the question is, how deep are Kompas Gaming going to go into this pushing comp? Because Bennett +5, they currently don't have that many answers. Eventually, the Blink Ravage is going to be great, but that's going to be quite a long time, I would expect. So, Kompas Gaming, they could decide to just go all in on the push, and at that point, Bennett +5, they're going to need heroes that could fight a little bit earlier. I mean, Tidehunter is great, but they really would have liked to have something like a Viper. You know, maybe not exactly that hero because it's banned out, but heroes that could fight early on and just man fight up versus the Lycan. You oftentimes see Slark going up against the Lycan, just because if they do get into an early game slugfest, then Slark will eventually come out on top, and he could very easily disengage, and the pounce keeps him in place. But actually, Kompas banning out both the Skywrath as well as Pugna, they don't get the first pick after this, and I think if Bennett +5 don't ban out the Shadow Shaman, then they should definitely pick it up. It's going to be Jakiro banned out, another very powerful pushing support hero, and Shadow Shaman should be the pick here for Bennett.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Earthshaker is also available in the pool. I think Kompas would be pretty comfortable picking that one up if they don't go for the Shadow Shaman. Bennett +5 will probably snag that hero up. It'll offer them some nice counter push, but honestly, the Shadow Shaman is just a little too scary to play up against in a pushing lineup. And I don't know, if Kompas Gaming just run at a tower, drop their summons, drop their words, drop their exorcism, that tower is going to fall even if they lose some heroes. And it's going to be a Shadow Demon for Bennett +5. Not a huge fan of this pick at all. It's going to leave Kompas Gaming open to pick up the Shadow Shaman almost most importantly, and I don't know, currently it's not really setting up for much, especially if that is a Tidehunter that's not going to be played in a core role. This Shadow Demon needs something else to combo with its Disruption. I really don't understand this pick very much.
It is kind of coming out of left field. I mean, it's a great hero. Shadow Demon is going to let you buy a little bit more time versus Lycan. Whoever's being chased down is just going to put into a bubble, and then Lycan's going to be sitting there awkwardly, but that interaction is not really worthy of picking up a single hero at this stage in the game, so they're going to have to pick up a very aggressive hero right after this. It should be a Mirana, I expect, from Bennett +5, but at that point I don't even know if they can get anything done. Mirana versus Lycan is not good times because you always have to worry about those invisible wolves taking your arrows, and now with Dazzle on the field, whoever does get initiated upon is most likely going to, at the very least, buy a little bit more time with the Shallow Grave, if not just completely survive. So I like this Dazzle pick for Kompas. It is a very aggressive support in that it is going to need a little bit of time to get going, but if it does get going, then come mid-game, Dazzle is one of the most scary. Bennett +5, their combination is going to be with the Leshrac. I don't know, I feel like this team comp is something that you would have been seeing like 3-4 years ago from Bennett.
Yeah, it just feels like, I don't know, it definitely can get things done. With the Shadow Demon Leshrac, they need to constantly be getting kills, or else this is just going to fall flat on its face for Bennett +5, but honestly, I'm not sure it's enough. Their pushing power is decent with Edict as well as Treants from the Nature's Prophet. It's, I don't know, some good heroes in a vacuum, but they just don't, I don't know, do anything up against Kompas Gaming's lineup. The Dazzle pick from Kompas is interesting, but then again, it is going to be just another support hero. They have the Shadow Shaman available, but instead they go for a Witch Doctor. Very peculiar. Shadow Shaman has just been completely ignored, and I expect him to be completely ignored through the rest of this. The Dazzle and Witch Doctor are going to offer a lot of sustain for the push of Kompas Gaming, which I suppose is nice, but then again, I think the Serpent Wards, their utility would definitely make up for the fact that they're not getting a heal from Voodoo Restoration or Wave, whichever one they replace.
Got the two trolls on the Kompas gaming side, Witch Doctor and Dazzle, if you played Dota 1. But that synergy isn't really there, but Witch Doctor Dazzle they're kind of similar in that they are balanced equally in the offense and defense. They are pretty much going to be 100% handing the game to Death Prophet and Lycan, since these two supports can't really do that much on their own outside of a Lucky Death Ward or something like that. So they're very much so babysitting heroes, and Kompas Gaming, they need one more core to really make this lineup come together, but I don't even think it has to be the perfect hero. Like, they don't have to spend that much time on it, because B+5, they're kind of running without a real strategy right now. Like, Shadow Demon Leshrac is all well and good. Maybe even going to run that with the Nature's Prophet and just trying to be super aggressive, but they need a hero that could do a lot of heavy lifting, B+5, and if it was 3-4 years ago, I would have said that Anti-Mage would have been the pick here, but it's going to be a Meepo. Well, that is one of those heroes that does a lot of heavy lifting if you get off the ground.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Lycanthrope and Death Prophet definitely can destroy a Meepo if they get off to an early start. The physical damage is very good at locking down the individual Meepos, and Cask is going to be annoying for him to deal with, as well as the AoE silence to stop poofs out. But other than that, there's not a whole lot that the Meepo has to be super scared of, and if it does get off to an early start, mostly due to rotations from Shadow Demon Leshrac, it definitely could work, although it's incredibly ballsy coming out from B+5.
Alright, Kompas Gaming, they need one more core. With that Meepo pick, I'm inclined to just say Axe. Pick the Axe and let's see it. Oh, damn it. It's going to be a Puck, which is a nice solid hero. It's again going to punch the fact that B+5 don't have that many stuns. They definitely have a lot more than last game, because last game they had 0. This game they have 1 in the Leshrac, 2 in the Tidehunter Ravage, if you decide to count that. But, you know, it's just solid enough hero for the Kompas Gaming side, and I think they have enough responses to this Meepo. Like, Dazzle is pretty good against it, especially if you get the weave off beforehand. Whoever Meepo tries to go for, if he doesn't get that kill quickly, then he's just going to be spending a lot of time where he can't get that kill. And Kompas Gaming, they're able to apply a lot more pressure a lot earlier. It's going to still be a toss-up, because whenever you see a Meepo, it's just going to be one of those toss-up games, and it's going to come down to a lot of just how the teams play, especially this Roman comp of the Shadow Demon Leshrac. If it works very well, if they buy Meepo a lot of space, they could very easily get kills. But again, their lanes are a little bit wonky, so I think Kompas Gaming in general should have stronger lanes.
Yeah, I think so as well. If the Meepo is going to be the one getting protected farm, which is what I assume is going to happen, we might see a mid Meepo, but no. Or actually, that's a Portman Shield first on our Meepo. This might actually be a mid build. He's going to be pooled some Tangos as well, but that's going to be all of the items that Blacks is going out to lane. It is a mid Meepo. For B+5, I thought they'd throw the Nature's Prophet in mid, although not the most conventional hero. I think he'd be able to get a little bit more out of lane, especially if it's versus Death Prophet. I don't know. It should be fine. It is going to be the Shadow Demon Leshrac that need to make the space around this map. But that said, into the game we're going to go, and the heroes are going to be picked up. And on the Radiant side, we are going to have B+5 with Uniden. Playing on the Leshrac, his partner in crime is going to be jDL3 on the Shadow Demon. The Nature's Prophet farming is going to be played by IDFC mid. The Meepo, already mentioned, is going to be played by Blacks. And currently, we do have the last hero of the Tidehunter, played by Jinx God. Currently up towards top. I think he's going to settle down towards bottom solo, however.
On the Kompas Gaming side, we got Puck, once again being played by Gorak in the off-lane position versus Tidehunter. Should be a very nice and safe lane for the Puck, though kills should probably not happen either way. Alpha Ninja is going to be playing Death Prophet over in mid. The hard carry is going to be Arteez's Lycan, supported by Goddamn's Witch Doctor, as well as Fee, Solo, Mecho's Dazzle. So a nice defensive tri-lane, and really if you're going to be running anything else with the Lycan, you're probably not going to have a great time. However, in this 3v3 lane, I don't know, who do you think has a stronger one?
I'm inclined to say B+5, but then again, they're probably going to want to rotate Shadow Demon and Leshrac fairly liberally. If the Nature's Prophet is left alone, they're not going to have the greatest time, or at least the Nature's Prophet's not, but I don't know. Then again, Kompas Gaming, their supports, they're great for babysitting. They're probably going to keep the Lycan alive, throw out a lot of the damage, although they don't have the greatest aggressive potential themselves. Poison Touch is nice, as is Paralyzing Cask, but they're not very guaranteed. It's going to take a lot to get the kills, and currently we do have Uniden as well as jDL3 smoked up and looking for a big wraparound, potentially on the top. If they can find out Artis, this is a pretty good time to kill him, as they won't have both the Grave as well as the heal, but they're going to find themselves a Dazzle with the follow-up stun from Leshrac. It is going to be off the mark slightly too early, and that's going to cost them the kill. I think that would have been a fairly straightforward one onto Fee had they lined that up properly.
Oh man, not a good start for Kompas Gaming, for B+5 rather. This combination should be easy, cut and dry, because it's always the same duration for the disruption. It's always going to be the same channeling time or cast time for the Leshrac. But if you miss the first one, then a lot more pressure is going to be going on those heroes moving forward because they can't afford to miss it too many times. They're going to try for round number 2, and this time they hit. With the poof damage, they might be able to kill off Ninja, especially with the net follow-up. That's going to be first blood drawn by Uniden. So if they mess up the first time, not a big deal. They'll just try again, and ultimately getting the first blood anyway. Can't really go wrong with that, as they do get a very nice kill on the death prophet of all heroes. And now the Meepo, with that level advantage, is going to have a much, much easier time, as he's very close to level 3 very quickly. I didn't expect them to be roaming this heavily. This is kind of what I thought was going to happen last game, where their supports were just going to be 100% roam. Shadow Demon Leshrac generally does rely quite a bit on whoever's in that lane already, just because after the Split Earth, there's not much follow-up. But they're definitely capable of getting these kills, especially with getting that first one. Once they get level 2, then the 2 supports can find people individually and then kill them off without any other help.
Yeah, for sure, especially now that we have the double Meepo coming out from Blacks here. Not a huge fan of his movement right now. He's sending one of his Meepos back to base, but he could have stacked one of his camps, either the medium or large camp, while he did that. I don't know, just a little bit of microplay that's not entirely there. Blacks is currently very low on his secondary Meepo in mid, but he shouldn't die unless he oversteps his welcome. Currently, Shadow Demon Leshrac might be able to find something. Now, it's going to be an Invis Rune onto Korik, and he might be able to find something. I don't know. This Shadow Demon Leshrac, they've settled down towards bottom. This is the least likely lane that they can kill. Tidehunter offers very little to locking down the puck, and all they will have is that disruption into Split Earth. And Gork, he's going to find himself a little bit of experience with this Invis Rune, and I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the Shadow Demon Leshrac sitting down bottom. I like the aggressive roaming that we're doing, and I think just going for more kills on your Lycan, and especially the Death Prophet, she's probably the easiest one to snag, is your best bet.
Gorik can also conceivably go for a kill on Uniden. This Leshrac is pretty much paper at this point. If you find him with an orb, you probably can't kill him, though Puck is actually not going to have the benefit of a double pull because he blocked off the camp. So if that was a double pull, Uniden would have taken just a little bit more damage and probably could have gone down there, but you know, that ward kind of doing double duty, so helping the Puck in that they can't double pull, but also hurting the Puck in that they can't double pull and you don't get that extra time. Jabane 0 as well as Uniden, though, they're going to rotate back towards mid lane. Make sure that HeflaTV is going to have a very, very shitty time. Although Uniden, oh man, Uniden, why Uniden? He's going to auto-attack the tower. That 20 damage better be worth it, because that just gave up this gank.
Yep, that's going to be all she wrote. The Death Prophet was very deep under a tower, but they definitely could have dove that. Yeah, currently, after the nice first blood, Jabane 0 and Uniden haven't really been able to do much, and are currently sitting at level 1. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that that just happened. They have another smoke, and the Russian isn't going to stop from these two, but it's definitely going to be a lot harder. Now that the lane supports up top have level 3 on the Dazzle as well as the Witch Doctor, they're going to have double points into heal for the Dazzle as well as a point into Shallow Grave, and Goddamn has 2 points in the Cask and 1 point into the Voodoo Restoration. I don't think they can kill top anymore. They need to kill it early if they wanted hope of putting any pressure on this Lycan now, and currently Artis is having a decent enough time, and I don't think it's really going to be stopped. Although, with a Meepo also coming in, this could be a change of plans as Black sends his secondary Meepo up top. He's going to show himself in lane, but now they have the Shadow Demon looking for a disruption, not going to find it, and that gank is also going to fail, more than likely.
Yeah, it's not too much of an investment here. These supports probably weren't going to do anything anyway, so a little bit of wasted time, potentially, by this extra Meepo, but that's fine as long as Kompas Gaming are not farming, or farming with a little bit more terror in their hearts. Black is still getting experience over in mid lane, and he's doing very well for himself, all things considered. And also, who's surprisingly doing very well is this Tidehunter versus the Puck. The difference in these two's creep score is a lot wider than I thought it would be, with Puck really struggling versus this Tidehunter. I mean, Anchor Smash for last hits means that you're probably not going to out-deny the Tidehunter, and if you get too close, you could get punished as well. But I think Puck should have more last hits than this. It just feels like he's just not doing enough. Maybe I got hit by one too many Anchor Smashes or something like that, but Puck is not going to have his Blink Dagger for quite a long time, especially if he goes for any intermediary items, whereas the Tidehunter's already picked up his Arcane Boots, and they're going to go on to top. Disruption has already happened. Fee is going to Shallow Grave himself, so he's going to live for a little while longer, especially with Goddamn's heal there as well. Another heal from Fee, and he will be able to slip away alive. And Split Earth is going to, once again, completely miss from Uniden, but it looks like that should just be it. IDFC is going to teleport out. Not going to gamble on killing off this Dazzle. The sustain from this lane is the real deal.
Yeah, it really is. It's very deceptive how long they can stay alive with just the waves as well as the Voodoo Restoration. Meepo is having a pretty good time in mid, although on a Radiant mid Meepo, I'd really love to see him abuse the stacks a little bit more. He's cleared out one of the camps, but that's all that he has been able to do, and currently they have a spread up top, looking for feed potentially, but they disrupt up the other target, they TP in, their Tidehunter with the Ravage is going to land it too, killing up the Dazzle instantly, now goddamn, going to follow very shortly. The Tidehunter as early starts paying off, and currently with 1100 gold, he's going to be close to whatever item he wants to go for, Mech or Blink.
Also in the mid lane, Affinage got into a fist fight with the Meepo, just barely coming out on top due to a level 3 Crypt Swarm. Now is going to secure an invisibility rune. She could potentially go for this kill on Leshrac, although it's a little bit risky. You have to chug just one bottle charge and then hope your right clicks are enough. Affinage is instead going to back off and play it a little bit more safely. So Kompas Gaming, they get on the receiving end of a Ravage, and the Ravage at this early stage is never going to be a good sign, so they lose 2 support heroes, though in all honesty it could have been a lot worse. Death Prophet getting at least something out of this mid lane, definitely going to redeem that exchange a little bit, especially if she rotates down towards bottom. We do see Affinage going to be prioritizing Witchcraft over Crypt Swarm in an attempt to get a little bit more aggressive in the pushing department, and if she heads down to the bottom lane, that can very well lead to a tower push at the very least, but she's just awkwardly patrolling in this bottom river area, not going to do too much. Death Prophet unfortunately can't get anything done with this invisibility rune, and I don't think is going to get anything done for a little bit longer. As good as she is farming, she doesn't really have as much space, or she doesn't really have any support either in order to do anything. And now Black's going to go deep behind the enemy tier 1 tower to try to find this Death Prophet. She's fast though with the phase boots, not fast enough. Now in the bubble with the curse up as well. The splitter is going to miss, and the poops miss as well, as Gorik does come in with a huge coil, going to kill off the Meepo as well as the Leshrac. Now Jabane0 on the run. Affinage is going to survive that entire exchange, and I think a lot of that is thanks to the Leshrac once again whiffing his Split Earth. It's a hard skill to land, which is why you pick up the Shadow Demon to set it up. But if you can't land it after that, then it's a pretty terrible roaming combination.
It really is. That's going to cost them not only the life of one of their supports, but also the Meepo. Had that double poof landed, it would have been crazy. But Death Prophet, with the 4 points of Witchcraft as well as the phase boots, was able to run away and avoid that damage with the curse on top of it. If they had that Split Earth, it would have been a completely different fight. But, I don't know, nice rotation from the pocket. Another smoke. Comes to Shadow Demon as well as the Leshrac, looking for, I don't know what round this is, but potentially trying to find a kill. But this supporting duo just isn't cutting the cake. They'll find themselves the Death Prophet. Disruption looking for the Split Earth. They're going to start with the Adic, then the Split Earth is going to be on the mark this time. They're doing a lot of damage to the Death Prophet. Might be able to just kill her up straight. Nature's Prophet up top is going to fall to Lycanthrope, using his wolf form as well as, I believe, just the cask from the Witch Doctor. Meepo is there to drop some nets. 1-for-1 trade all around the map.
Although Courier going to get hit on the receiving end of double damage. 3 HP, he survives. I want to say that was just unlucky high-low rolls from Jabane0 and Uniden, but the Courier, for whatever reason, gets to fly home after delivering the Vlads up towards top lane. Yeah, Death Prophet, unfortunately, at this stage isn't tanky enough to withstand this dual roam combination. These supports are definitely capable of getting kills by themselves because they do have the level 2 Edict. Amplified, each hit by the Soul Catcher is a lot of extra damage, and well, they're going to try to make this tower push happen. They will get it down, but I think it'll be at the cost of their top tier 1. However, Jabane0 will teleport in, and B+5, though the score currently sits 4-4, it feels like they're a lot more ahead than the graphs would indicate, where the graphs would indicate it's fairly even at this stage. And it kind of is. I mean, both sides are capable of doing quite a lot from this point onward. But Disruption up on top, and Jabane0 getting hit with the poison, and he's going to get mauled by wolves. He's almost dying straight up to these wolves. RT's getting hit with the Split Earth, and Uniden finally hitting that one, but Jabane0, one more swipe. No, it's going to be 2 more swipes. RT's will chase the wolf onto the Shadow Demon. One more paw hit is going to get him. There it is. Lycan's going to get the kill, but here comes IDFC. It's going to cut off the Lycan's escape route and kill him off in the end. And it looks like that is going to be it. The other 2 supports slipped out alive. It's going to buy a little bit of time for the other heroes of Kompas Gaming to get a little bit extra farm, and Gorik desperately needs it. But still, losing the Lycan when he's getting all the farm is less than ideal, especially with if Affinage goes down as well. He doesn't have any way of getting through these trees. The Split Earth is going to be landing as well, and the Phase Boots this time, it will not be enough. One more hit from the Leshrac did a lot more damage than I thought, and will kill off the Death Prophet over in mid.
Yeah, there you go. It is going to be a good trade for B+5. Their Meepo up top, they almost found themselves a kill on the Dazzle, but Grave TP was able to keep himself safe inside the base. They needed just a little bit more tick damage to take him down. If he had another Meepo or more points than the Geostrike, maybe. But, I don't know, just not something that you can really guess at. Currently, down in bottom, Gurik's going to eat himself a gush. He should be fine to just jaunt out if you're alive, and there you go. The puck is going to be fine. Completely tapped out of mana, however. Now up in top, they're going to find themselves a Lycan with the Sprout coming through, as well as the boost. They're doing a lot of damage now, netted to the ground. No way for this Lycan to run. He bops Blacks once, but that's going to be the end of the Lycan's life. 7-5. B+5 find themselves a little bit more room to work with, and now into the tier 1 tower up top, they're probably going to push with the Nature's Prophet summoning his Treants. Meepo's going to be forced back to base, at least with one of them. He will leave the main Meepo up with the rest of his buddies, and I think this is going to be a blink rush for Blacks.
Yeah, it should help him quite a bit. And Lycan, as soon as he died, he bought a Quelling Blade. That Sprout was backbreaking. He couldn't do anything about it at that point. You would have assumed that Lycan would have a Quelling Blade already, but unfortunately a little bit too late, and it's going to result in his death. And Blacks with a very close Blink Dagger is going to be able to pretty much 100-0 the Witch Doctor or the Dazzle. Despite the fact that they are very sustained, it'll take a lot of time for them to actually get that sustain off, and when you poof in a whole bunch of Meepos off of a Blink Dagger, it's very difficult, especially with the Blink Ravage going to open things up. Goddamn, and Fee, both in a ton of trouble. The net is going to hold Fee out, and he's going to try to teleport out, but the net should cancel that. Now Goddamn with the Death Ward is going to be doing jack as they both go down. Very nice, very clean initiation from Jinx God, and they're just going to keep on rolling with this one. Blink Dagger finally up on Puck, but is it a little bit too late? He's going to get a tier 1 tower off of this one, and Arteez and Affinage going to be killing off Roshan, so this tower push up on top is not going to be without gains for the Kompas Gaming side, but it's still a very steep cost, as Golgoric is going to be just fine in the bottom lane despite the Meepo TP, and they will secure the Aegis. All in all, it's not the worst for Kompas Gaming, but definitely could be going a lot better.
Yep. And now the Meepo, he's going to buy something, or at least I think he is. He's not going to be going for the Blink Dagger, or is he? Oh no, this might just be an Aghanim Scepter. Generally, I like Aghanim Scepter first on Meepo a little bit better, as the extra stats is wonderful, as they find the Meepo down in bottom with a Paralyzing Cast bouncing through. I don't think he's going to be able to get out of here. It is going to be enough to lock him down a decent amount. Now with the Wolf chasing him, we'll be able to get the boost and doing a lot of damage to Artis, but he will fall at the end of all of that. They do block in Artis inside the trees, but he's able to munch through one of them. Now finds himself an IDFC, and IDFC is going to fall. One auto attack is all that they need, and there you go. One swipe from Artis will secure 2 kills for Kompas Gaming, making up for the less than ideal trade previous.
So that exchange pretty much showed exactly what I was talking about the sustain of Kompas Gaming. The Lycan almost got 100-0'd by pooping Meepos, and that's terrifying. But at the end of the day, Goddamn was there for long enough so that Voodoo Restoration got Arteez all the way back to fightable amounts of HP, and then now all the way up to full HP. So the sustain for Kompas Gaming is pretty much contingent on the plan, on the assumption that they don't get 100-0'd, and that's a difficult thing to have happen against all the burst of Bandit +5, but if it does happen, then between Shallow Grave, Shadow Wave, as well as the Voodoo Restoration and Vlad's Lifesteal, then Bandit +5 will just very quickly run out of gas in the tank. So it's going to be up to Bandit +5 to 100-0 people before any response can be had. If that doesn't happen, then the sustained damage of Death Prophet with Exorcism with the Lycan in his wolf form is going to very quickly overrun the Bandit +5 side, at least for a little bit, as they do find Arteez in the jungle. He has an Aegis though, and with the Weave plus armor, he's going to be very tanky. I don't think they can get this kill, although they'll put him into a bubble. They don't have another Split Earth for a little bit. Arteez now trapped in the Sprout. This is going to be his Aegis. Is there any rotation coming in? They have the Dazzle around, but probably shouldn't be in here for very long. Arteez gonna summon the Wolves, instantly gets hit with the Split Earth, but here comes the support from the 2 supports, and, well, Ravage is gonna deny all of that. Arteez is gonna go down very quickly, although the Shallow Grave is there. I'm gonna channel the Death Ward for quite a long time, though it's not really doing that much. It's gonna be 3 down for Bandit +5 regardless, though. Now Jinx God also gonna be mauled by Wolves. Okay, and now Affinage is going to come in from the side, has a Yule Scepter, so Blacks literally cannot escape from this one, although he's going to try to poof his way out. Yule Scepter not there. Affinage, what are you doing? They're going to still chase down these Meepos, and the damage and the silence should be enough to give Kompas Gaming a full team wipe. I think the Puck had a lot to do with that fight, but I thought that it would have gone much, much worse for Kompas Gaming.
I did it as well. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how it went so well. There was just little miscommunications. They kind of spread out and didn't combo everything correctly. They weren't able to bring down the Lycan immediately. He had the Vlads as well as the Shallow Grave on him. They had enough sustain to keep him alive. It's the Dazzle and the Witch Doctor pumping out that extra heal with the Voodoo Restoration as well as the Shadow Wave. It's very easy to underestimate. Now the Meepo, despite having a really good start, his Aghanim Scepter is going to be delayed a little bit. He's lost, I don't know, 2 sets of 300 gold in those last 2 deaths, and hasn't really been able to get much out of them other than that. He would have his Aghanim Scepter completed if it weren't for the last 2 fights, as Lycanthrope, very aggressively positioned, not going to be caught out by anything. Does have team backup, so they're not going to go for that. But now the Puck with the Dagon is going to add a lot to the burst of Kompas Gaming.
Man, yeah, that last fight, once Tidehunter got the 3-man Ravage, I was like, okay, it's all over for Kompas. Even if they do rotate even more help in, it's not going to be enough. But yeah, the sustain, it's just so difficult for Ben+5 to decisively 100-0 people, especially after burning quite a bit on the Lycan pre-Aegis. Killing him off second time is tough, especially since he's going to be holding on to a level 2 book now, so he's going to be even tougher to bring down, and if you don't, even if you bring him down, you'll have to be forced to deal with his Necro units as well. Kompas Gaming take a really nice fight despite getting hit with a Ravage by pretty much everyone, and well, they're going to take a tier 2 tower off of that one as well. It's actually looking not too bad for them. I thought that Ben+5 had this game, pretty firmly, but in fact it's Kompas Gaming who are just in general farming just a little bit more, and their items are certainly going to help them because all the supports from Ben+5, they're not going to accelerate with items at all, but if the Witch Doctor gets a Death Ward that's Aghanimed, it's going to be huge, and now Uniden in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to split Earth at his feet. That'll buy him a little bit of time, although RT still might consider chasing this one down. No, not with the Meepos here. A little bit too much, potentially, but we have top lane Afoninj. Going to find Jabane Zero right in a corner. Gorek's going to jump forward very aggressively. They're going to try to kill off Shadow Demon very easily. They will do so. Now IDFC getting hit with the coil, and he's going to sprout out Afoninj and the poof damage. It's going to be enough to kill off the Death Prophet. Now Gorek going to blink down towards the south and will survive. But diving that aggressively for that Shadow Demon kill, probably not worth it for Death Prophet, who ultimately could not save herself with the Yule Scepter from that poof damage. It's a lot of damage, and if you don't have the sustain or any way to avoid it, you're definitely going to die.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a lot down to how their, lineups are working out. But Net+5, they need to kind of stay ahead in order to really be comfortable. And, the sustained damage from Kompas Gaming, if they don't 100-0 somebody and do get that burst off with the Leshrac stun, the Titan to Ravage, and Meepo poofs, once they get those off, it's going to be a lot easier for Kompas Gaming to fight if they're able to survive through that. And last team fight, the Lycanthrope was able to stick around a little bit too much. They can't go for these solo pickups, as that's going to leave them susceptible to what just happened up top. But currently we do have a smoke that's going to be dispelled. They jump in with the puck right onto IDFC, and he might just die to these two heroes. The defensive disruption is going to help him quite a bit. Curse is going to land onto the Dazzle, and they will be able to save themselves the pickoff on the Nature's Prophet. He is forced back entirely. The Dazzle's going to drop a weave and drop to about half health, but currently that's about all she wrote. There's not going to be anything else happening. Currently Meepo pushing out with his Meepo Lings up top. Worst case scenario, he can just poof out. The Casca is going to be very annoying, as that is maxed out, and he's just going to clean up that creep wave. His other Meepos with the rest of his team, Aghanimed Scepter is available, but no Blink just yet. And, well, for now, it's just going to be the split pushing game. Bottom lane being pushed up by Kompas Gaming, top by Bened+5.
So Gorek has actually gone for the same exact build that he did last game, in that he's going to be going for a Dagon. It's not just a casual Dagon either, it's already level 2, so he's investing quite a bit for it. I don't really know how I feel about this. I mean, obviously killing off a Meepo is going to be really nice, but it is at the same time a very expensive item. And when you're going for a Dagon on the puck, what you're not getting is a Yule Scepter or any sort of utility, Sheepstick, Shivas, anything that helps the team in a little bit more than just damage roll. Now Black's considering going for poofing onto Gorek. He will do so. Phase Shift won't buy you quite enough time. He's going to get the silence off, maybe a Dream Coil. He's not going to get anything off, in fact. I don't really know what Puck was doing there. Maybe he thought that the Meepos won't dare poof in, but he was wrong in that assumption. It's going to be a free kill down on bottom lane for Bened+5, and well, Roshan was kind of being grouped around, but they're unfortunately not up just yet. Now Blacks has a Blink Dagger, and this Meepo is getting to the point where he could do pretty much whatever he wants, and Kompas Gaming, though they are capable of punishing the Meepo, and they're still capable of killing him off, it's a lot harder to deal with because his poof damage will come so quickly with this Blink Dagger pickup.
Yeah, this is one of the biggest jumps of power that you're going to see in Meepo, because right now there's no BKBs on the enemy team. And in fact, nobody's even thinking about it. Yule Scepter and now Vitality Booster on the Death Prophet, Lycanthrope nowhere near a BKB, although I'd presume that's his next item. Doesn't even have enough for the Ogre Club. Meepo right now is just having time of his life as it goes up towards the top. The poof damage isn't going to be there, but they TP in the Nature's Prophet. They don't drip a Sprout, but they do have the damage with the Meepos attacking onto Ardas. Ardas is probably going to fall before he gets to go on the Blacks, and that is going to be the case. Will Blacks be able to avoid all of these summons? Blacks is going to be able to survive on the backlines, and poofs clean up the creep wave. He doesn't kill the Necro Minion. That's going to drop one of his Meepos, though, but it doesn't actually matter. Still a good pick off for the Net+5. I don't know. The poof damage is being underestimated a little bit by Kompas Gaming. You can't really feel comfortable around the map. I'm not sure if they saw the Blink Dagger previous to that, but this Meepo is pretty darn scary.
Yeah, and at the same time, Lycan did do a truckload of damage to the Nature's Prophet as well. Oh, okay, Dazzle is going to get brought down in the bottom lane. My apologies, guys. Completely missed that one, but They brought the Meepo down pretty low, the Lycan, and the Lycan also brought the Nature's Prophet very low. If he had any help at all, that could have been an easy kill, and maybe even more than just two heroes.
Blacks.
Blacks up top is in quite a bit of trouble. He's going to poof one Meepo in and then get another one out. One Meepo, though, gets left behind, and I don't think this Meepo is going to survive. Death Ward and Coil going to be used for it, but I think that's kind of worth it. Bottom lane, the Edict push is going to happen. Lycan is going to try to defend. He does not have a Shapeshift just yet, but he will get the tower deny. So overall, it's one kill, and Afoninj going to look for a little bit more. Unfortunately, despite the haste rune, he can't get vision onto anyone. Nighttime vision. Definitely not helping out this Death Prophet, though. They are still chasing down Jinx God, and now they do see him with the Wolves, or they should. It's not going to be a kill anyway. So it is going to be a free kill on the Meepo and a free deny for Kompas Gaming. And with the two heroes up on top, I think they might even get a tower of their own. If not that, then it's definitely going to be Roshan. Really, B+5 can't afford to defend both of them, so they have to choose which one they actually want to defend.
I think it's going to be neither, but they will start with the disruption on the puck. Blink away will keep him safe. They might get the deny in this tier 1. Let's see if it's going to happen. Witch Doctor throws himself a cask. He doesn't get the last hit in the tower. Now they jump in. Ravage going to commit to bolt with Nature's Prophet ulti bouncing through. They're going to get Goddamn as well as Gore down. But in the meantime, they are losing Roshan to Artis as well as Fee. They should be able to take this. The Nature's Prophet is close and might be able to find himself some vision. He's going to get the Sprout, and I think he knows this is happening, but there's nothing they can actually do. He does drops his ultimate. No hope for a steal. It's just the way of the Lycanthrope, but still 2 kills going away. B+5. It's not a terrible trade at all. Yeah, the previous trade where they drop both ultimates to get the kill onto Blacks, even though it's not entirely necessary, it's not bad for them, but then again, it's not terrible for B+5. They jump in with Blacks. They don't have the Ravage available, but they're just going to drop Artis down. That's his Aegis down to start things off. They do get a Grave the Wave, the Death Prophet, and with the Exorcism running, he's doing a decent amount of damage. Atos the Wave, IDFC, but they don't do enough damage to it. Death Prophet's on the backlines, kills the Necromanian. Yule Scepter is too late there, and now she's going to set up for the stun. No, yeah, she's just going to die beforehand. Now Fee caught out by the Lishrak and company. Yule's Scepter up into the air. He's going to be dropped back down and brought down. Double kill for Uniden as the Meepo is on the backlines, potentially looking for Goddamn. He is currently getting hit around by that concussive shot, or paralyzing cask, excuse me. Tier 2 tower is probably going to fall to B+5. There's very little hope of them being able to defend against this. Black's currently at level 18 now with every single Meepo that he could want, and also sitting on a decent amount of gold. He's going to purge up an ultimate orb, presumably towards the Scythe of Vice. I don't know, B+5, they're looking pretty solid. As scary as the Lycanthrope is, the pushing power from Lishrak, as well as the Meepo with 5 Meepos, is also pretty darn crazy. And they're going to lose a tier 3 tower. There's nothing Kompas Gaming can really do. Not sure if they want to go for racks. The puck is here. They're going to drop the Witch Doctor ultimate. The Dream Coil is going to catch pretty much everything, but there's no follow-up. They are going to break some of the coils on the Meepo links, but they lose the melee barracks, and that's all she wrote. I don't think that they're going to be able to chase this down. Black's TPing away with his main Meepo, and then poofs the low Meepo back to join it up. He still has 3 out in the fighting ground. There's nothing Kompas Gaming can do to chase this out.
So there's a couple things that went really wrong for Kompas Gaming that last fight. First of all, their Lycan didn't have a BKB, so if he gets poofed upon, he literally does not have a potential response. Also, the Death Prophet, she also got fully poofed upon. All the poofs landed on her. And then right after that, she Yulesed herself so that she wouldn't die. And it's fine and everything, but she didn't use the Yule Scepter to dodge any of that poof damage, and she also didn't have the Exorcism on with the Yule Scepter. If that happened, the fight might have gone a slightly different way, but I don't know, the burst damage of these Meepos just not being respected by Kompas Gaming is they're constantly going out just 1 or 2 heroes at a time. They need the sustain and the life-saving abilities of the Dazzle, as well as the Witch Doctor, if they actually want to get something done. And then they're going down for Goriak on bottom lane. Easy poof net combination. The puck is going to be obliterated once again. Goddamn has pretty much the best tool that Kompas Gaming could possibly want right now in an Aghanim upgraded Death Ward to kill off the Meepo and really everyone else, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. IDFC is going to teleport out from this ganking party up top lane, and it's going to be Artis, who's once again doing stuff all by himself. I don't know why Kompas Gaming are insisting that they do this. If they go out alone, they will get picked off. With a blinking Meepo and a blinking Nature's Prophet, that's just going to happen.
Yeah, it really is, and now Blacks finds himself a free tier 2 tower down the bottom. There's nobody here to defend it, and that's going to be it. That's also almost your completed scythe for the Meepo, and that's another big boost of power for the Meepo, and his pickup potential is going to be ridiculous. If anybody's cut out solo by this Meepo, they're dead. I don't care who it is. The Hex and then follow up with the Nets. There's not really anybody that can survive through that burst damage.
And now, Bennett +5, they're going to make a straight push down bottom lane. they do have to worry about crypt swarms and stuff like that, and Meepo doesn't exactly have the luxury of being able to pick off someone very easily from this angle. Gorek, though, angling like he wants to go in on this one. It will be risky. The silence is going to land onto Jinx God. The Necro Books are popped off. Gorek going to jump forward for a nice silence onto 3 or 4 heroes that he's not going to draw down just yet, but it's actually going to be Alpha Ninja, who's going to be beaten down by Blacks. Good luck getting out of there, Death Prophet. I don't think it's going to happen. Kiilstofte is there. Now the Ravage being committed. Going to hit onto 2 people. Jinx God taking all the damage from his team, but now the Death Ward is annihilating everybody from Bennett +5. It's bouncing through so far. Jinx God is going to be dropped down shortly after Leshrac. Now IDFC as well as Blacks. Blacks is going to poof all of his Meepos out, and IDFC will also survive. But the best tool that Kompas Gaming have, certainly showing why this upgrade is a pretty good one. Witch Doctor did thousands of damage in that last fight.
For sure. Imagine if they had that all at the same time with the jump in from the puck and you get a Dream Coil on several of them with the Witch Doctor ultimate, but still, it was enough to get them 3 kills and repel the push. Another tool that's just not being respected in this game. I'm not sure. They should have seen that Witch Doctor Axe. He's definitely showed it in lane before, and goddamn, just doing a ridiculous amount. Even though there wasn't any lockdown, they were just clumped up, and it's going to be so useful in defending these other lanes. It's still not a very easy game for Kompas Gaming, but a couple more fights like that, and it eventually will be. Their Lycanthrope is working towards his BKB, but he's just not getting any farm, mostly due to the fact that he's been picked off too much. He is going to have his Mithril Hammer, or at least the gold, to pick that up available, but still, the Meepo is going to be able to kill him very quickly. And even when he gets to BKB, Blink Scythe and then the Poofs is going to drop him low enough to where the beatdown from the rest of the Meepos is going to be enough to catch him out, if he doesn't have Shapeshift to run away from the Geostrike. Currently, we might see a bump together as they get a silence on one of the Meepos. He's probably going to poof all the rest of his back in, or just wait until the silence wears off. He's pretty darn tanky. It's going to get Dream Coiled up. They don't have enough damage. Blacks is not microing that Meepo away, and he's going to fall. He kind of half-committed. He could have poofed them in a lot quicker, tried to run away, and, I don't know, just a little bit indecisive coming out from Blacks. Still, Meepo, he's only going to be down for 50 seconds, is one of the benefits of having a Meepo. They won't be able to push in to any of the outer tier towers or high ground while he's gone, but still a very high-level kill for Kompas Gaming. It's going to be very useful.
It's still a very delicate situation for them. Killing off the Meepo is what they need to be doing, getting these pickoffs, and really every single pickoff is not so that Kompas Gaming could push, but just so that they could delay the push from Bennett +5. Because Kompas Gaming are racks down, their biggest hope right now is to land a nice fight with the Witch Doctor ultimate tearing through everyone from Bennett, then hopefully capitalize and take a tower, or hopefully Raxes for Kompas Gaming straight after. It's a lot to have happen to in order to get all that going, but if it does happen, then they could very easily make this game happen. With these picks from Kompas, they are still in this game despite losing 1 Raxes. It's defendable at this point, and especially if they land up these ultimates correctly. With the Lycan still farming, he's still very far away from his BKB, and it's really painful the fact that he doesn't have that item yet. But KPG, they just need more time, and getting picks is pretty much the best way to buy more time.
Yep. But if Bennett +5 just group up and use the tools that they have to initiate, it could be pretty difficult for Kompas Gaming to defend their second 2 sets. Currently, it is fairly passive as both teams are just kind of regrouping. Yeah, the Leshrac, he has a Yule Scepter, Arcane Boots, and working towards his own BKB. He's doing quite a lot of damage in these team fights of his own. Which I suppose is nice for Bennett +5, but the Shadow Demon is more or less just a true support. He does have a Necronomicon 3, however, adding more to their pushing power. I believe that's 2 complete Necronomicons, actually, so a lot of units that Kompas Gaming are going to have to deal with, and their counter push is pretty lackluster. The puck is nice, as is the Paralyzing Cask, but it's not enough. Cryptstorm is probably their best tool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of extra pushing power from Bennett. It's not going to come together just yet. I don't think they'll feel entirely comfortable just straight pushing the top lane or the bottom lane. They'll apply pressure to mid when they can, but it's most likely not going to be a top priority for them. What Bennett and +5 should be looking to do right now is just to get a pick off. It has been pretty easy for them thus far, and if they get eyes on the Lycan, Black's already hunting this one down, then they'll be able to get another one. Although, the poof, miss Blink rather. He's gonna get stuck up there, but goddamn is gonna be a little bit more unlucky. Instantly the teleportation away, and it looks like he will get out of there just in time. Jabane 0 a little bit too slow as Gorak down the bottom lane. Gonna force some teleportations back from Bennett +5, or well, Bennett +5 could just choose to ignore that. They are gonna teleport this Nature's Prophet back, but he could teleport right to the top lane after he has cleaned that up. A lot of this fight, if not all of this fight, is going to be reliant on the Witch Doctor. If he gets hexed and brought down, he does have a buyback, I think, after losing his gold from dying. but if he doesn't have buyback, and if he doesn't get the Death Ward up for 3-4 seconds, then Bennett +5 are just going to breach this base so easily. So keep your eyes on the Ravage, keep your eyes on the Death Ward, because those are going to be the two most important skills for either side as they do go in bottom lane. IDFC being chased out by Artees, who's completed up his BKB, but I don't think he could actually do anything off of besides killing off this tier 3. Sprout is going to miss on bottom, and Artees is going to teleport back, gaining a nice little bit of gold, but now the push is going to happen. The orb's going to fly, and Black's going to jump right in for Afroninj. However, now Black's is completely without the rest of his team. The bouncing, paralyzing cast is going to destroy him, and he will get put into a bubble for now. Black's is going to be focused. One Meepo dropping dangerously low up on the top side, and he will be brought down. Yes, the Meepo is down. Now Kompas Gaming, they have to make sure to not mess up their positioning as they chase this one out. Artees with the BKB form. Can look to Jabane 0, and he will kill off this Shadow Demon. Not much that the Shadow Demon could do about this one. In the meantime, bottom lane, Gorek looking for Jinx God, looking for Unidin. Will find neither because he doesn't have any way of interrupting these TPs. But at the end of the day, despite the fact that mid lane is still in full breach, Kompas Gaming get a tier 3 tower, and they make a defense, and they take 2 heroes down as well. This is their chance to make something happen.
It's not a very big window, but it is their chance. 30 seconds till the Meepo is alive. He doesn't have buyback available. Yeah, even if he didn't have boots of travel to get back in that engagement. But once you jump in with Meepo, you're pretty much fully committed if you poof all of your Meepos, and there's just not a backup plan. And they were able to pick him apart. It took quite a while for them to kill the Meepo, but it's definitely doable. And now with Shiva's Guard on the Death Prophet, more items coming online for Kompas Gaming. Another successful defense. I think if they're going to jump in with their Meepo like that, they need to use the Ravage or something along those lines. Divine themselves a Dazzle. He's going to be brought down very easily. Just looking for some dewarding. He came in peace and drops a gem. Ooh, very unfortunate that the Dazzle dies there, and actually a more important pickoff than you usually see at this point in the game for supports. That gem is going to be very useful for Bennett +5 to secure their map control, and all of these wards that have just been placed or were placed previously by the Kompas Gaming supports are going to be taken off of the map, and currently that's 3 of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty big loss for Kompas Gaming, who are pretty firmly behind, although the graphs don't indicate that much. It's really the Rax momentum that is being painful for Kompas Gaming. But I think that top fight was pretty much a fluke, I want to say, because the Tidehunter didn't use his Ravage, and Meepo kind of just fought that all by himself. That was pretty much just a 1v5, and Black's kind of served himself up on a silver platter. So as long as he doesn't jump the gun again, he should be a lot better in the next fight. As Gorek's going to run to Jabane, then they're both going to back off. They're not going to pick a fight, because why do we have to be fighting all the time? It doesn't make any sense. Gorek is still going to consider going in here. He does have some potential support in the Lycan, but I don't know if this is worth doing because the Nature Prophet can teleport in at the drop of the hat, and at that point, Gorek, if he gets hit with the Orchid, he's just going to die. Still, the Bennett +5 side are going to be applying pressure up towards top lane with the Nature Prophet, and Kompas Gaming can't really make anything happen outside of that. They're going to try to put momentum down towards bottom since the Raxes are exposed, but I don't know if they could actually get anything done.
Blax!
One of the Meepo is going to get silenced up, though there's no follow-up at all. So short silence, and he's going to be just fine, although I'm sure he was panicking for a little bit there. Not enough single target stun or burst to do anything like that. Roshan is up, but if Kompas Gaming decide to go for Roshan, then it's just going to be a straight top push for Bennett +5, and I don't think Kompas Gaming could get both the Roshan and the defense.
No, I don't think so either, but the Lycanthrope is going to try currently in the Roshan pit, working away at this. They have vision of Blacks as he jumps in. We'll keep Artis alive for now, but the net is going to be on the Marth, and now the secondary poofs is going to be forced to BKB TP out of here. Not going to have enough damage as they look for the kill onto Fee. Fee does not have BKB and is going to be brought down, especially with the Nature's Prophet coming in. This is going to be a very easy Roshan for Bennett +5 with no Dazzle, and also with Roshan, and, or rather, Ravage on the Tidehunter, Necronomicons, all of the summons, this Roshan is going to fall very quickly. Shadow Demon does get a kill on the Puck, and the Witch Doctor also going to find himself the kill on the Shadow Demon after the fact. Didn't actually see how that went down, but Roshan is going to go the way of the Meepo. Now Blacks with 2 lives can go as well as he did last time and be pretty comfortable. Cheese also on the Tidehunter.
So yeah,
or in the Shrek.
Shadow Demon got initiated upon by the Puck and ended up turning that one around with all of his damage plus the Necro units being amplified by the Curse. It's quite a lot of damage, and Puck going for this full Dagon build is not exactly built to deal with any sort of damage, really. So if he gets closed upon, then he's going to very quickly drop. It's Puck down for 35 seconds, not the most important hero for Kompas Gaming to have alive, but at the same time, it's a piece of the puzzle that they don't have, and even if the Puck was alive, he wouldn't have a coil. So it's going to be a straight top push for Bennett +5. They have the Cheese, they have the Aegis. I don't think they're going to get much stronger than this, at least not by a huge margin. So now they're going to go for it. Ravage is still available, and, well, Blacks is going to poof right in, go straight for Afroninj. However, here's the sustain. Maledicts is going to land onto everyone, and goddamn with the BKB. Does not have a Death Ward because he used it to kill out the Shadow Demon beforehand, so it's a huge tool of the puzzle missing. Death Prophet's going to buy back, but Black's still alive. Artee's trying to claw down Blacks. He will bring one very low. Now with the Shallow Grave, he will pop off the Aegis. Affinage going to come right in. Uniden can hit pretty hard by the Spirits. Now they're going to move on to Jinx God. There goes the Tidal Hunter, but he does get his Ravage before he does go down. Gorik's going to buy back as well. Now finally the Death Ward bouncing through to everyone. Going to kill off Uniden. Going to kill off Blacks as well. He will get put into bubble for a little bit, but it's not going to help him for much longer. Yes, it's 4 down. Going in favor of Kompas Gaming. They had to buy back with a couple heroes there, but now the puck looking for jBaneZero. The range Rax is still under assault, and no one's actually defeating these units just yet, although they will be cleaned up in the end, and Gorik hits the Shadow Demon kill on top of that. They lose the tier 3. They bring a lot of, they have to spend a lot of money on buybacks. Their range Rax is dropped low, but Kompas Gaming, they make a defense. And now they're going to go straight down to the bottom lane and try to make something happen. Again, the Death Ward is the most important tool for Kompas Gaming, and that time, once again, it did work.
Yeah, it really is. But Net +5, they wanted to dive really aggressively, and they probably could have just committed to the buildings. Meepo did a whole lot of damage, but I think if they just threw bodies at the barracks with the Meepo, they would have been able to take that. And, well, the barracks are going to be defended. Despite the range barracks falling fairly low, bottom might be forcing out some buybacks here. So range barracks there is also going to drop pretty precariously, but Artis is going to be forced to use his shapeshift. Now bops the barracks a couple more times. His TP from Leshrac is very long. Artis might be sticking around a little too long with Dual Scepter up in the air. Ball stun from Uniden is going to be off the mark a little too late there. Very difficult to time, and Artis will be able to run away to safety, I think. They're going to pursue him. They're going to drop a gush, and, well, his shapeshift spell has a little bit of duration left on it, although they might be able to chase him down, especially with the Nature's Prophet coming in. They have a way to cancel his TP. They're looking for it. Splitter stun going to be way too late, and that's going to be all that Kompas Gaming are going to be able to do in that short window. Meepo, with his naturally low cooldown timer, is really going to pay off pretty big. As he poofs more or less just in place up in the top to clear out that creep wave.
Alright, well, this game is going to continue. That was both the cheese and the Aegis used for Bennett +5, and they couldn't necessarily crack the high ground. Kompas Gaming, they're still fighting, and they're still getting quite a bit done, especially if Dazzle gets the weave, which is a kind of an underestimated skill because it's hard to see how much durability it gives or how much minus armor it actually amplifies. But still, with all the physical damage on the Bennett +5 side, it is going to be a giant tool moving forward, even though its impacts are going to be a little bit difficult to necessarily see and count down. But if these ultimates land for Kompas Gaming, mainly the Weave and the Death Ward, then they'll be able to make quite a bit happen, especially if Jinx God gets brought down right now. Although Gorik didn't get hit with the Orchid, I don't think he could live through this. The teleportation out, it's going to be all in vain. I don't know what Gorik's doing there. He's going to get some support from the rest of his team. Jinx God and IDFC both in quite a bit of trouble, especially Jinx God, who is, I think, going to be left for dead. IDFC going to blink out and teleport out. He will be just fine, but in the meantime, top lane's in full breach. They're going to lose the range Raxes. Now, goddamn, with the Death Ward attempt to try to ward away Blacks, but it's not going to do enough because there's no lockdown. Blacks is going to just drop pretty low. Now, Fee, he's going to be thrown up into the air. IDFC still being focused by the Death Ward, but he's still doing some damage to Fee. Not going to be enough. The Nature's Prophet is going to go out. Meantime, they chase down Blacks with the Dagon. They will bring down this Meepo, but it's at the cost of their range Raxes. They'll clean up everything else, but I don't think they can get anything in response because Meepo has bought back, and even though Tide as well as Nature's Prophet are down, the lanes are not in favor of Kompas Gaming, not by a long shot. Bottom lane is pushed out way too far, and Kompas Gaming, once again, they're on the defense. This time, one range Rax less.
Yeah, I don't know. Still, it could have gotten a lot worse for Kompas Gaming, and they at least get something. I'll call that trade fairly even, despite them losing the structure at the end. The Tidehunter made a lot of space in order for them to do that. It just wasn't enough. This Meepo, his item choice, I'm not a huge fan of this casual Yasha in his inventory. Eventually it'll be a Manta style, which will be nice to get out of the silences coming out from the DP, as well as the puck, at least on his main Meepo, as well as just offering a little bit more pushing power as they jump into the mid. He doesn't get the Hex off, however. Now he's silenced up and going to be Atos. Blacks might have just given away his life here. They're not doing that much damage, but they're still going to drop it dangerously low, and he's not going to be able to TP away. They do have defensive disruption, and the rest of his Meepos are still fighting strong. Blacks trying to get out to safety. He's going to kill Necronomicon. Nobody's going to die just yet as they jump forward. They're going to find themselves an Affin engine now with the poof damage, as well as the Hex. It's going to be enough.
Artis is still chasing down Blacks behind the tier 2 tower, though. Ravage is going to be committed, and he's going to give up his life. Super greed coming out from the Lycan. He knows, oh my god, they're still going to go in. I don't know what you're doing, goddamn. He's going to try to channel the Death Ward. It's going to kill the Meepo and jBaneZero. Now going to try to go for Uniden. The Ghost Scepter will save him for a little bit longer. Goddamn, is doing so much damage. He will be brought down in the end by IDFC, and Uniden in the BKB will try to kill off B. The Shallow Grave will buy him just a little bit more time, but not enough time. Dual Scepter in the Grave, it's not going to be enough. He's going to die as he does crater down to the floor. Only the puck is alive. Taking a quick look at these buybacks. There is a buyback from the Lycan that's probably going to be done. Oh, but the snipe off of the Leshrac. Puck from behind is going to slow down this push, although the Sprout is going to miss. Gorak should be able to survive this, especially with the haste rune. No, this is an easy survival. Top lane still being pushed though. Nature's Prophet is going to teleport straight in and go to town at Raxes. They need a buyback. Finally, Lycan is there with the boots of travel, but the double Necro units are going to wail on these Raxes. RT's going to take quite a bit of damage from killing these off. IDFC can hit with another Dragon Blast from Gorak, and now the damage is not quite going to be enough as RT does without the BKB. Trying to kill out that Nature's Prophet, but the blink out is going to secure his escape. Still, the Raxes are under fire. They need to kill off these units, especially this catapult, because the melee Rax is still taking quite a bit of damage. Gorak, throw an AoE skill, do something. He's going to get silenced instead as the melee Rax is getting brought down. IDFC is going to survive, and the melee Rax is still alive, but not for long, because Jinka and IDFC are going to just YOLO dive this one. It's totally worth it. No more buybacks from Kompas Gaming. 1 second until the Death Prophet is alive, but Nature's Prophet does get to survive. RT's doesn't go down, but now it's 2 Raxes down in favor of Bandit +5. I mean, Kompas Gaming, they're still capable of taking these fights if it does come to a full 5-on-5 clash, but I don't think it's going to come down to that any longer. It's going to be Bandit +5 playing the rat game and slowly starting to take the last set of Raxes. Kompas Gaming, they need to take a decisive fight, full-on 5v5 without the enemy buying back in order to actually have a chance in this game.
They really do. Meepo, usually not considered it, but if he gets Boots of Trouble, he's going to be split pushing, I don't know, comparable to the Tinker, and then you also have an Nature's Prophet on your team. There's no pressure on Bandit +5. All the pressure is on the Kompas Gaming, and that last engagement in mid where they chased down for those kills was just so darn greedy. They got maybe a little bit more than I thought they would because of the Witch Doctor's ultimate, which is level 16 with the BKB, as well as the Aghanim Scepter. It does a dirty amount of damage, but that's, I don't know, not enough if you're going to lose that many heroes and be forced to buy back. Nature's Prophet currently probably going to replace his Midas, but after he does that, he's going to be, for all intents and purposes, 6-slotted. IDFC, we haven't talked about him that much this game, mostly because there's a Meepo, and he's a lot more interesting to look at. But then again, Nature's Prophet, he's done his job, and he's continuing to do so. Right now, it's Bandit +5 pushing out all of the lanes, and if they find a pickoff, it's going to be fairly straightforward to take this last set of racks. All of the pressure is on to Kompas Gaming right now. Even if they lose, it's not the end of the world, as it is going to be 1-1 in the best-of-3 series, but it's still a very big victory, both literally as well as for morale, for Bandit +5, as they pull something a little bit unconventional out of the hat, and they make it work.
Alright, so Kompas Gaming, again, what they need to do is take a dedicated team fight. However, because all the pressure is on them to defend, that means this upcoming Roshan, though it is quite a long respawn time, it's going to mean that Bandit +5 are going to have all the time in the world to just sit back and wait this one out, knowing that Kompas Gaming are going to be most likely holed up in their base, and if they do walk out, it's going to be smokes, and then it's going to be fairly obvious because the lanes are going to be pushed in. Gorak up on top lane is potentially in a little bit of trouble. The Nature's Prophet has pretty much been omnipresent in this game. No matter who's been spotted out, he's been there. So, yeah, it's not exactly the most flashy of heroes, especially since he is such a common one. But he's been there pretty much wherever he needs to be, whenever he's needed. And also now in the bottom lane, making sure that Kompas Gaming can't really get any semblance of map control. And the more you can deny map control for Kompas Gaming, the less farm they're going to get, and the more likely you're going to be able to secure this Roshan without a fight. Also, Tier 4 tower has dropped, so the Ancient is slowly starting to be a little bit more vulnerable. I don't know if Kompas Gaming have enough in the tank right now. They're going to have to constantly deal with Necro units and Treants that are just going to be thrown into this tower. Eventually the range racks once the tower goes down. So the pressure, as you said, is on Kompas Gaming to make something happen, but at the same time they don't have any map control, so they can't actually make anything happen. It's a very, very sticky situation for them.
Very, and for now, it's just kind of waiting game for Roshan, as they do find out IDFC. They're going to dag them, but now they jump in with Blacks. The Poos aren't going to do that much damage, but he's still in the middle of his fight. The Ravage is also going to come through, landing on a multitude of heroes. Blacks is taking a lot of damage from the Witch Doctor ultimate. They will lose their Meepo throughout all of this. The Brave is going to keep their Death Prophet alive throughout all of this. She's going to Yule Scepter up in the air, and eventually is she going to fall? They're trying to chase her down. Lustrax is not going to be able to do so, and that fight's actually going pretty darn well for Kompas Gaming. They still haven't killed this Death Prophet. Necronomicons die, and that's going to be all she wrote. 3 for 2 the trade, everybody dropping dangerously low. The sustain still from Kompas Gaming is pretty impressive, and the fact that Death Prophet doesn't fall is huge. IDFC deep in enemy lines, going to summon some Treants and might get picked off here. Let's see, getting chased down by the Death Prophet. Now fully healed after she gets all of her spirits back. It's just going to be a chasing game. He's going to Midas Group, then get Atos. They do have vision with the ward from the low ground, and, well, looking for the Corpse Storm. Not going to find it. Is the right click going to be there? It will. With the extra Howl damage, Death Prophet has more than enough to get that kill. And that's going to be a 4 for 2. A much better trade than I thought Kompas Gaming were going to be able to find. Yet again, Witch Doctor's ultimate doing a ridiculous amount of damage in such an enclosed space around the Dire Ancients.
It's really the difference in space, and also that time there was a huge poof in from Meepo, but Dazzle dodged 100% of that because he was up in the air, whether that was his Yules or an enemy Yules. Doesn't really matter, he dodged all that damage, and Kompas Gaming taking that nice dedicated fight with the BKBs up, dodged the bullet in the Meepo poof as well as the Tidehunter Ravage, so without those two doing the damage, as I said before, Ben+5, they can't 100-0 you, they're probably not going to kill you at all. Kompas Gaming take a nice little fight, but again, because they don't have any semblance of map control, the lanes aren't pushed out, they're not going to be able to capitalize in any sort of way at all. They're going to have to take several more of those fights to the point where RTs is going to be able to cleave through all of Bennett +5 pretty much solo, you know, with a little bit of help from his Witch Doctor friend, stuff like that. But take a fight without losing anyone or losing one hero at most. Even if they do take that, then they're going to have to worry about a traveling Nature's Prophet who's going to be very, very annoying in pushing it in the mid lane. They're going to try to go for Roshan now, Kompas Gaming, and they might be able to take it. However, Ben+5, they are kind of close by, and Death Prophet is kind of a little bit far away. Witch Doctor, though, this is the fight for him. This is the perfect situation for Witch Doctor. Now, huge jump forward. RT's gonna get stunned up, and where's the Death Ward? Goddamn, gonna start channeling. Let's see the damage. It's going to go straight onto Black's first. Goddamn, still channeling. This is literally gonna get a full channel of the Death Ward, and he's going to annihilate 3. It's gonna be 4. Respawn from the Nature's Prophet. He's going to teleport in. Thinking about it, Jermaine Zero also going to get out, but you do not take a fight in that Roshan pit with goddamn's Death Ward because it will destroy you. I think everyone knows I'm going to be playing after this game, but still, the Death Ward Witch Doctor doing serious work.
It really is. He's kind of been the unsung or maybe sung hero. I don't know. In all of these team fights, it seems that it's just the Death Ward that does everything. You know, the tier 2 tower in mid probably going to fall as they want to reserve this buyback on the Tide and the Meepo. The poofs this time weren't dodged, and they started it off in a better way than they did the last fight, but it still wasn't enough. When you have your BKB online for your Lycanthrope as well as for your Witch Doctor, there's very little, in fact nothing they can do to actually stop that channeling. And very little that they can do in the terms of damage. Even though Meepo, the physical damage is pretty strong, a lot of that is from the Poos as well as Geostrike, and that's also going to be negated. Still, another hold as they find themselves a pick-off. Nature's Prophet did not want to be there and wasn't able to escape fast enough. He does have buyback available, in fact is swimming in the gold with 6,000 in the bank, but Kompas Gaming, they're slowly but surely bringing themselves back into this game. It's by no means an easy game, but if they're able to continuously take those fights, it's going to be a lot more reasonable than it was a couple minutes ago.
Ben+5 had a 15,000 gold lead, but now the lead is slowly starting to bend the way of Kompas Gaming, though I don't really think the gold and experience is going to be hugely relevant here. It's mostly going to be the BKB usage, the positioning, and of course this Death Ward. If the Kompas Gaming side find time to pick up an Assault Cuirass or a Desolator or anything like that, suddenly goddamn Death Ward is going to be doing even more work, and that's terrifying because it's already been doing the most damage from any of the Kompas Gaming's heroes at all. I would say if you took a total, took account of the enemy or the hero damage dealt from Kompas Gaming versus Ben+5, Death Ward will be on top. They're gonna find the puck though. It's a really nice pick off, but they don't have the Nature's Prophet. Now the cast's gonna fly into Uniden. BKB will block all of that. And it looks like Uniden will just be forced to waste it. Now the Ravage going to hit onto everyone. Death Ward not being channeled just yet. He's going to pop the BKB, start the channeling, and Black's going to start taking a lot of damage from that. No, nothing is going to interrupt this, but everyone's still alive. Black's now going to take a lot of damage. There goes Meepo. No, he's still alive. Goddamn's not going to be able to finish off with the channeling. Meepo is going to go down, and he does buy back, but the Death Prophet also loses the Aegis as well. Jinx got on the way out. The Wolf right on his tail. Two-man split Earth, though, as RTs and B are both going to be held out just a little while longer, and Lycan is going to survive with the sustain. And now here comes Black once again, going to try to go for Aphonage. And I think they'll be able to kill off the Death Prophet, but everyone else from Kompas Gaming is going to survive, although IDFC chasing down the Dazzle will kill him off, and Death Prophet also does go down. That's 3 down for Kompas Gaming. They don't take the Raxes. They don't even take the tower. Ben+5, they are forced to buy back. And taking a quick look at the buyback status, Dazzle has one, Death Prophet has one, Puck does not have one. This is going to be a valiant defense attempt from Kompas Gaming. They have another Death Ward soon, and I think they'll be able to use it to defend, but Ben+5, they're going to go for the Alpha Strike right now.
Yeah, this is more or less go time. Bennett +5, even if they lose this, it's still not going to be enough for Kompas Gaming to actually do anything off of it. They might just force out buybacks and then get out of there, and they are going to buy back on their Dazzle. That's not going to be enough to force them in and of itself, and Exorcism's still going to be down for 35 seconds, even if they do buy back in the Death Prophet, which they will. Blacks and company, they might end up backing, although if they find a pickoff onto Artist, this could be huge. The Hex is going to come out. He doesn't get the BKB off in time, and he's going to fall before anything happens. The Witch Doctor, he is going to be able to get off a Death Ward, although he's caught between too many heroes, and he's probably going to fall with the Grave. It's going to do a lot of damage to Blacks. It is going to be enough to get the kill on the Meepo, which is dieback, and Goddamn is still goddamn alive here, as they do stun up IDFC on the back lines. They disrupt up the Tidehunter, but the last line of barracks, crucially, is falling. Goddamn shows his face to try to do anything. IDFC still hasn't taken the full lane, and is going to fall down for his trouble, but the range barracks, mega creeps it is going to be, and now their base is in full reach. Tier 4 tower, the last one is going to fall. Buyback on the Witch Doctor, anything it can do to defend. There might be one more fight in Kompas Gaming, but I'm not even sure if they have that. I've never seen anybody come back from mega creeps, and especially not with a lineup like this.
Once again, it was the Death Ward doing all the damage, but Kompas Gaming, they make the Hail Mary. They're going to buy up everything, and soon enough, it's going to be all 5 heroes down mid. Lycan does have travels, so he will be able to reinforce once he gets back alive. But if Kompas Gaming decide to defend in their base, they will not hold out against Mega Creeps. They don't have the clearing speed necessary. All of their damage is the Death Ward, which of course ignores the creeps. They have to make a desperation push right now. If they wait for Bennett +5 to respawn, they will simply not win the game. And, well, it's just a matter of time. They have quite a large creep wave going down the bottom lane, but I don't know if they actually want to do that. They don't push fast enough. Without this Lycan, they don't have any way of actually clearing creeps. They have no one, really, who could do it. I guess the Death Prophet with 2 or 3 Crypt Swarms, especially with their kiting, is going to be the best at it. But they're not getting anywhere. Like, they pushed out bottom lane a little bit, and now Lycan wasting his travels on the bottom lane. Bennett +5, they get the Mega Creeps, and if Kompas Gaming had a Battle Fury and 2 Maelstroms, I would say that they could be a little bit more okay with this, but they can't push out fast enough. And now Jabane Zero, he's going to look towards top lane. Afro Ninja is in a little bit of trouble, gets put into the bubble, and then this Curse and Necro unit should be spawned as well. Afro Ninja is going to try to teleport out of there, but here comes Blacks. That's going to be the death of the Death Prophet, and she does not have a buyback. Still, Kompas Gaming are going to work on this desperation push down mid. 3 very, very slow pushing supports. Going to smoke up and try to crash top lane. A double damage rune on Puck, I guess. Anything that you get your hands on, but this is going to be extremely hard, nigh on impossible, for Kompas Gaming to defend, especially 4v5. They're going to get the jump onto IDFC, open up with the Maledict, and they're going to bring him down very low. In fact, there will kill him off. Jabane Zero also in the area, but killing these heroes, it's secondary, because it's really the creeps that they have to worry about right now, especially like these Necro units. Every single point of damage they put onto the Ancient is going to be very hard to counteract. Oh man, it's 2 down for Bennett +5 though, and well, Nature Prophet does have a buyback. Buyback status, and Shadow Demon is also up. Kompas Gaming, they're still alive, but I don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to last either. Meepo has a completed Manta style, and honestly, even with the Death Ward at this point, he's still going to be doing pretty comfortably up against it. The bounces are going to be disastrous, and Meepo's going to fall low, but do they have enough follow-up for that at this point, especially if he purchases something along the lines of Reaver, or maybe goes for a Scotty next? At this point, Bennett +5, they can, I don't know, just chill. They don't actually have to do anything. They could just 5-man down push, but these creeps are going to do the work for him. Look at mid. Like, they're just going to struggle so heavily to actually get these creeps off of their Ancient, and slowly but surely it's going to get chipped down. And then any fight that Kompas Gaming don't dominate or completely wipe the enemy team, it's going to be just so hard for them to defend. Their Ancient is already in a very precarious situation. These heroes are just dying straight up to creeps. Look at Artist, man, fighting up against all of these. He's going to be dropped down to at least half, and now caught in. Like, they could probably just go and TP into the creeps. Artists probably going to be forced back to base, and the rest of the team just desperately trying to hold out as much as they can.
Even the Witch Doctor buying a Maelstrom and trying to do his part in clearing these creep waves, but it's just not enough. I mean, Kompas Gaming, right now, they're holding even against Mega Creeps. This is with 5 versus 0 in this game. Once Bennett +5 throw everyone that they have into the Kompas Gaming side, between those heroes and the Mega Creeps, I don't think Kompas Gaming are going to be able to withstand this. They need Battle Furies and Mjolnirs, not Maelstroms. That's just not good enough at this point. But it's just a matter of time before Bennett +5 feel comfortable with actually going for this push. They're just farming all around the map. if they do this, they will very slowly. Well, they won't win the game straight up. Like the Kompas Gaming side will be able to defend against Mega Creeps, so they won't win. They're also not going to lose, so they're just kind of wasting time right now and just waiting for their opportunity, I suppose. Because KPG, they kind of have control of their base right now, but Bandit +5, they are not playing this game anymore.
Dream Cold down towards bottom. Unidin's going to be dropped down, and they find a pick off, which is nice for Kompas Gaming. Kiilstofte up in the air. He doesn't have any backup. He is going to die. Drops a gem. That's something, but Kompas Gaming can't actually use that gem to get very much dewarding going on, as they can't leave their base. They're going to be forced back, and it's still something. But as you said, Bandit +5, they're just not playing this game, and they don't have to. Their creeps are doing it for them. Meepo still has room to go. Nature's Prophet, he's going to be running with the Closet Courier with a completed site device running around on it. He wants to hang on to his Midas as long as possible. And eventually we're going to see a refresher on the Nature's Prophet. They still have plenty of items that they can pick up on their cores. Eventually there might be a little bit of pressure for Bandit +5 to end it, but right now items don't actually matter. It's all about these big creeps, and it's not really looking very good for them, especially if they get picked off. They're going to find themselves a Gorik here. He's going to be locked into place. The Grave, as well as the phase shift, he's probably going to survive, but on the backlines, they find themselves a pick off on the Dazzle. Kiilstofte up in the air. He's not going to survive throughout all of this, and he's going to be silenced and brought down very easily. 112 seconds without their full lineup for Kompas Gaming, despite not being the most crucial one. No Grave, no heal, no Shadow Wave. It's still super important. It's also going to be Roshan going the way of Bandit +5. Another Aegis for the Meepo. They can just throw bodies at these barracks. They could probably just run at it, hit it, and it would fall.
They could probably just A move, right? Just circle up all your heroes and click right behind the Dire Ancient, or just right on the Dire Ancient, and then just go. There's no Dazzle, who's, to be fair, not doing the most in these team fights, but still, you need every single piece you could get when you're talking about defending against Mega Creeps. And here we go. Here's going to be the finishing blow, or the finishing blow attempt from Bandit +5. Kompas Gaming, they have the capability of defending. It's going to be a long shot, but they can in fact do it. The question is, can they actually win after every defense? Like, they'll be able to take infinite amount of defenses on paper, but now with the initiation onto Goddamn, he's going to pop the BKB. This time no Maledict. He's going to not be able to save RTs either. He's going to be brought down very quickly from Blacks. Death Ward's finally going to be channeled, this time interrupted by a Ravage, and everyone from Kompas Gaming, they're falling. It's a tragic end to a valiant game from them, but after 56 minutes of the gameplay, the Mega Creeps are going to be more than enough to kill off the Dire's Ancient, and GG is going to be called. Man, what a game. What a game.
Okay, so that makes me happy. I get to see a Meepo, and that's always a plus, and that's going to also be a 3-game best-of-3 series, as that's going to tie things up 1-1. I'm probably going to expect the Meepo to be banned out in the second stage next game, as they don't want to give that away. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I'm pretty excited for game number 3.
Alright guys, the series is tied up. Kompas Gaming took game number 1, Bandit +5 taking game number 2, so we're going to be heading on to a game number 3 to decide who actually goes up to Division 1 and who stays in Division 2. Don't go anywhere, we're going to have a quick break, and then game number 3 is going to be coming up soon. So thanks for watching guys, GG.